All right, thank you for taking your time to watch this channel. This is a boycott report, and it's a new channel. I'm trying to establish something where people can call in and talk about anything that they like. It doesn't matter politics, could be personal issues, could be science, could be a product, anything that they would like to talk about. I picked a subject today which actually been bothering me for a while now. I heard about it in the news a couple of weeks ago, and it's about the cocoa industry. And we all like chocolate, or at least most of us, um, in different forms, whether it's in candy, whether it's a chocolate milk, whatever. We enjoy it. It's something we grew up on as little kids. And I was reading this news article a couple of weeks ago about the cocoa industry. And I didn't know that until I read this news article. And 1 second, I'm sorry. And I'm pretty disappointed in what I found out, which is that first off, it's $100 billion a year industry. It's a lot of money. Number two is that 60% of it is made in African countries. And I put some things up here online just to make it a little easier for me and for you to be able to see. Um, right here, child labor in the production of cocoa. They are using mostly children to harvest the cocoa, and the circumstances there are really bad. I mean, these kids don't get paid a whole lot of money. We're talking maybe $3 a day. They don't have enough money to afford clean water. Forget about living a decent life. I mean, if we had to live on $3 a day, we would be on the street, and we would have a hard time feeding ourselves. I mean, I have a business, and we're all in business to make money, obviously. Some of us are lucky enough to work in an industry where we may enjoy what we do and we're able to make money. A lot of people in other countries don't have that option. They do the job that they can get. In this case here, where it says that 60%, nearly 60% of the world's cocoa each year is done in African countries, and but the latest estimates found 2 million children engaged in hazardous work on cocoa farms in these two countries. So it's something that really bothers me because if corporations are making billions of dollars in the cocoa industry, why would they allow for children to be working under those kind of circumstances or in an environment that is a health problem? And forget about just a health problem. It doesn't allow them to live and feed themselves and to clothe themselves or to have a roof over their head to feed their family. I mean, I can go on and on and on. And here in the United States, like in many other Western countries, we do worry about our finances at times. I mean, some of us may not have a job that can give us everything that we're looking for in the life. But we're talking about a whole nother ball game here. We're talking about children And from what I read, between the ages of 12 to 15, 16 years old, sometimes even younger than that, are being basically abused in order to make money for some big companies out there. And I think it's important to talk about it because if we don't talk about things that are going on in the world that are as sad as this here, for an example, then there won't ever be any changes. You know, we have to educate each other in order to hopefully have people voice themselves so there could be changes implemented and also put pressure on those big corporations in order to make sure that this doesn't go on anymore. And this is one incident of probably thousands out there. I mean, this is not just the cocoa industry. I mean, we were talking about the clothing industry. It's pretty much the same thing. A lot of the major clothing companies, they decided to go and do business in India. And these people working at these places in India, in these textile companies, are making $3 a day. And they're working 12 hours a day or more. And that is not enough money to live, but it's too much to die. And it's nice when we go into a store and we're paying $5 or $10 for a T-shirt. It's nice when we go in the store and buy other products at a very low price. I mean, we're always looking to get the best deal possible. I do too. I'm not exempt. But we have to really think about where it's coming from and what's involved in order to get the price so low that we can buy it really at next to nothing. And it bothers me a lot that big companies are taking advantage of people out there. And I know there's a solution for it. I mean, like I said, money is important. We all need money to live, and we're all looking to make the most we possibly can. But there's that fine line. I mean, none of us would sell drugs to make money, or at least most of us. And there are certain things we just wouldn't do for money. So I'm saying to myself, um, why are those big corporations willing to buy products when they know where it's coming from? I mean, this is not a secret. You know what I mean? These big companies that buying the cocoa from those countries in Africa, for an example, they know what's going on, and they continue doing business like that. And we need to educate so we as the people can make a change and pressure those companies into changing what's going on. And I hope that it's in the heart of a lot of people to make changes. And it doesn't necessarily cost money to make changes. I mean, we could just stop buying chocolate. We could just stop buying, chocolate milk. And if the masses would get together and boycott companies like that, we may get someplace. We can continue on putting pressure on companies like that in order to make sure that things change. And if it doesn't change, we just don't buy it. And I know it's hard sometimes. I mean, you know, we want something, we'll buy it. But if we really care, then, like they always say, where there's a will, there's a way. And again, it's not only the cocoa industry, we get the clothing industry. I mean, there was things going on in China for quite a while, even in the iPhone production. And, Apple was very, very strict about it.